I have shared a video with your producer, and she can play it at any time, subject to your convenience.
A video about what?
A video of what Bawumia said in opposition at a time fuel prices went up by 9%. 9%. That was immediately before the 2016 elections. And Bawumia was so appalled and disgusted that 9% increment meant that John Mahama was totally clueless, incompetent, and the word he used was that he was uncaring. And that he actually said, how wicked can Mahama be that at a time we are suffering, he will increase fuel prices by 9%.
Who will increase fuel prices?
John Mahama will increase fuel prices. He didn't talk about exchange rate or the factors that contribute to fuel prices. He didn't even talk about any exogenous factors, not even the international market price. But Bawumia said the government had increased fuel prices by 9%, and that meant that John Mahama was uncaring, he was insensitive, he just bastardized the man. 9% increase. Now, Doc, at the time he was speaking, the price of a gallon of diesel and petrol was hovering around 14 cedis. When it even went up in December, it went up to 3 cedis 59 pesos per liter, which translated into 16 cedis per gallon. That was when it even went very high in December. But for the greater part of 2016, when Bawumia was castigating Mahama, it was 14 cedis. Today, that letter which was going for 3 cedis 59 pesos at its peak under Mahama, that they called him names, insulted him, branded him as wicked, insensitive, uncaring, today is going for 15 cedis 1 pesos, and for diesel 15 cedis 25 pesos. That represents an increase of 320% in the price of petrol per liter, and an increment of 329% in the price of diesel per liter.
But you're being disingenuous. You're looking at an increment over a 7.5-year period.
Yes.
Yes, the 9% was not over a 7.5-year
No,
period.
I'm not comparing the 9% to the 320.
Yeah.
Yes. If you want to look at the increase in fuel prices over the 8 years that we were in office, it was 5 cedis at Nakufo. We ended it around 16 cedis. You understand? If you do the maths, 5 cedis to 10 is 100%. 10 to 15 is what will give you 200%, right? So we were below 200%. That is the point I'm trying to make, or just about 200%. If you want to do an 8-year comparison, so I'm saying that if you want to do even the 8 years comparison, if Males Mahama took the price from 5 cedis and ended it around 14 cedis or even 16 cedis, it is far, far better, far lower than Akufo-Addo and Bawumia picking it from, let's say, even 16 cedis and bringing it to 68 cedis for petrol and 69 cedis for diesel.
Yeah,
that is per gallon. Do the math.
Yeah,
16 all the way to 68 cedis for petrol and 69 cedis per gallon for diesel. You can't even compare even the percentages over and comparing 8 years to 7.5 years. They have done far worse. So the question is, why did they do that to President Mahama? Why did Bawumia say all those things? And today Tonto doesn't have the decency and the humility to apologize for that. He's here saying that, Bawumia is still having economic management team meetings. And so what? Are we interested in mere meetings? What did he promise us to be, that he will be having meetings? Or he promised that strong economic fundamentals? He promised us a stable city. He promised us a relatively lower rate of depreciation. He promised us lower prices for fuel. That is what you promised. So whether you are having 1,001 meetings and collecting per diems and huge allowances for that, we don't care. What we care about is the price at which we are buying diesel and petrol to fill our cars today. And maybe you are in government. I see that you've even been promoted, so maybe you have access to fuel coupons. So you are not. Oh, these days he's always with Bawumia. You understand? I'm sure he's one of the closest aides to Bawumia.
Is it a campaign? That's not,
Yeah,
that's not government.
Oh yes, and they don't buy fuel. They enjoy from fuel coupons from government. We know. So that is why. Oh, that is why you can't. Oh, hold on. Don't.
No, this is a direct accusation against you.
You don't get fuel coupons.
No.
Thank you. I take it back. Yeah. I just suspect that you may be one of those.
Please don't suspect.
No problem.
I'm sitting here.
But you see, Doc, the point is that this is clear testament to the fact that Bawumia is dishonest. Bawumia has failed. Bawumia has been completely clueless and useless about the management of fuel prices and the factors that contribute to say. Look, what is accounting for these increments? Doc, you rightly said, number one, the main thing is the exchange rate. Because the fuel we consume in this country is an imported commodity. And it is imported with US dollars. So the higher the dollar rate, the higher fuel prices will be. This is a no-brainer. Everybody knows that. And so the fact that Bawumia has failed to live up to his promise to stabilize the city. And we all recall what he said in opposition about how the fundamentals were weak at the time and how the fundamentals were exposing us. The dollar was exposing the weak fundamentals. The lectures he delivered, projecting himself as a paragon of all wisdom, the answer to our economic woes. In fact, the single task that President Akufo-Addo in opposition said he was entrusting into the hands of Bawumia was what? The management of the city. That was when he stood in his car in one market in Accra here and said, "Sidi na ya ta." And untina makofa bemuyi Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia and now Yejuma Bank of Ghana. All that talk was a sham. Because today, $1 which was selling at 4 cedis 20 pesos under John Mahama is going for 15 cedis 70 pesos. And dog, this is the bank rate. If you go to the forest bureaus, you're going to get it at almost 16 cedis. Doc, what does that mean? What that means is that the BBC, who needed, say, 10,000, who needed 42,000 cedis in December 2016 to buy $10,000 for the purpose of importing crude into this country. Today, if that BBC, that importer, that businessman or businesswoman needs the same 10,000 US dollars, not 1 cent more, the same 10,000 US dollars. Whereas he needed only 42,000 cedis under Mahama to get it, today he needs 157,000 cedis to get that $10,000. And I'm using the bank rate. 157,000 cedis. Now, what is the nominal depreciated value? 115,000 cedis. 115,000 cedis more to be able to get $10,000. Under John Mahama, that businessman, if he had 100,000 cedis in his bank account, he could purchase $23,809 at a rate of 4.2. 100,000 cedis could get him 23,809 United States dollars. Look, today, if that businessman kept that 100,000 cedis in his bank account, that 100,000 cedis is worth and can only get him $6,369. From 23,809 to 6,369. He has lost over 17,000 US dollars because of the mismanagement of the Bawumia-led economic management team, which has led to this free fall of the city. Now, Doc, again, the second factor is about the insensitivity, the sheer wickedness of the Bawumia-led economic management team by heaping many taxes on the price build-up of fuel and by increasing the existing levies and margins and taxes on fuel astronomically. Doc, I have no problem if you decide to increase taxes on fuel, say by 10% or by 20%. But if you increase taxes by 477%, I have a problem. If you increase taxes on fuel by over 200%, I have a problem. Especially in this time of suffering. And I'll be very happy if you allow for the video I shared with your producer to be played at some point. Look, Doc, let me tell you the taxes Bawumia has hit on fuel, for which reason we are suffering. Because but for those taxes, fuel prices would have been relatively lower despite the free fall of the cedi. Number one, after all the things they said about ESLA, branding Mahama as wicked and promising to scrap ESLA, the ESLA that Mahama planned that Ghanaians should pay for only 5 years, today we are paying over a period of 15 years because they have collateralized it for 10 years, another 10 years for a loan that they have misused. They didn't use it on the purpose for which ESLA was established. We all know that. We've seen the PIAC report and how they use some for payments other than clearing legacy debts in the energy sector. Aside doing that to ESLA, they have introduced a new levy called Energy Sector Recovery Levy of 20 pesos per litre of diesel and petrol. Another 18 pesos, the same Energy Sector Recovery Levy per kilogram of LPG. Then a sanitation and pollution levy, senseless tax, people call it baller tax, of 10 pesos per litre of diesel and petrol. Then the existing ones they came to meet, road fund levy. In 2016 it was 40 pesos, today it is 48 pesos. The increase is 20%. That is something that we can pardon them for. But check primary distribution margin. It was 4 cedis 50 pesos. It was 4.5 pesos. Today it is 26 pesos. The increase is 477%. Boss margin was 3 pesos. Today the boss margin is 9 pesos. An increase of 200%. Then the fuel market margin was 9 pesos. Was 1.5 pesos. Today it is 9 pesos. An increase of 500%. The UPPF was 9 pesos per litre. Today it is 90 pesos. Look, an increase of 900%. Energy debt recovery levy, 41 pesos, now increased to 49 pesos per litre, an increase of 19.5%. Price stabilization levy, per litre of petrol was 14 pesos, per litre of diesel was 16 pesos. Today, the one on petrol has been increased by 33% and the one on diesel by 40%. So the new levies and taxes on fuel, coupled with these astronomical increments, is what is partly contributing to the unbearable cost. Why do we pay price stabilization levy, Doc? It is to give government the funds to cushion the consumer when prices on the international market go up, or when the factors of demand and supply or the exchange rate pushes the price up. Government is supposed to use the price and stabilization levy we pay to cushion us. For many years now, they've been collecting this levy from us. So far they've collected over 2 billion cedis of that. Yet they are failing to use it to cushion us. That is why I say that what is happening only highlights not only their dishonesty, but their insensitivity. And Doc, look, you just have to look at the way transport fares are going up. You read it in the newspapers that the Concerned Drivers Association have indicated that effective Monday, transportation fares are going up by 15%. But already, look at transport fares. And I got this from the drivers yesterday. OA Transport, which is one of the main buses that moves from Accra to the towns in the country. In 2016, when you picked OA bus from Accra to Boko, you were charged 95 cedis. Today, Doc, you have to pay 360 cedis. From 95 to 360 cedis. That is 265 cedis more, a percentage increase of 279%. From Accra to Boga and Paga, it used to be 80 cedis. Today it is 340 cedis, a percentage increase of 325% in the fare. Accra to Wa used to be 65 cedis. Today it is 265 cedis, an increase of 408%. Accra to Tamale was 70 cedis. Today it is 300 cedis, an increase of 329%. Accra to Sunyane, where I was brought up, used to be 35 cedis. Today it is 170 cedis, OA bus, an increase of 386%. Accra to Isoko, Mosquito's hometown, used to be 50 cedis. Today, it is going for 200 Ghana cedis, an increase of 300%. Accra to Brekum used to be 40 cedis. Today, it is going for 170 Ghana cedis, an increase of 325. Accra to Seshi, Dadiaso, used to be 45 cedis under Mahama. Today, 205 cedis. I can go on and on and on. This is the cause of the hardships. For those watching, this is why you are suffering. Because Bawumia has been totally reckless in the management of the economy, such that today, our cedi is the third worst performing currency in Africa. COVID affected all the 54 countries in Africa. Why is the cedi the third worst? Not too long ago, it was even the worst performing currency. It is because others were responsible in their management of COVID. Bawumia and the NPP were reckless. They saw COVID as an avenue to steal. And that is why their own regional vice chairperson for Northern Region, Felicia Tete, former PC for Sagnerigu for the NPP, says COVID monies were distributed to them and that he had 2 billion OCDs COVID funds. That is why the Auditor General says that they paid about 14 million cedis to a company called Modern Security Printers to do education on COVID-19 protocols in SHS. But no work was done, yet the monies have been paid. That is why the Auditor General says they paid 37 million cedis for free water with no water bills to validate same. They paid about 15 million cedis on hot meals. In some cases, there were no receipts, no ANA certificates. They just chopped the money. 277,000 cedis was used to procure medical equipment. The equipment got diverted. This is the Auditor General, not Sammy Gyamfi. You chopped the money. You threw the deficits off GIA. That was when we started recording double-digit deficit, 2020, 15.6. Because they saw COVID as an avenue to steal, to spend recklessly in the name of winning an election. And today, all of us, innocent Ghanaians, the trotro driver, the market woman, the businessmen and women, the importers, they are having to pay for your recklessness. And you don't even have the decency to apologize for that.